Hello. Today I'm spending some time with my good friend Wendy Rea, who is a fellow of the Institute of Professional Florists. And Wendy is going to demonstrate how to make a tablescape for a dinner party. Wendy is also the business development manager at a company called Direct to Florist. So if ever you feel like ordering some flowers, I'll put the link to Direct to Florists below this video, and they will send flowers in the UK and all around the world. Now I'm going to hand over to Wendy.
I'm going to do my prime vases first. So I haven't got, I'm in a holiday home here, so I haven't got a fabulous collection of larger vases. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these glasses.
Right.
So I've got all my containers ready, and I'm just putting my flowers into groups. Some of these aren't readily available, but it doesn't matter. It's the theory of this that matters. These are proteas, various types. Yeah. I don't know the name of that one, and I don't mind saying that. This is Leucodendron Safari Sunset, right. Eucalyptus, various types. These are asters, which you could get in the UK, and this is celosia, which you can get. In different countries, things become different prices. Right. In this country, proteas are really, really cheap. Right. In the UK, these are massively at a cost because of the weight of this and the size of it. To ship it over from somewhere like South Africa becomes expensive.
It reminds me of a chrysanthemum as well. I mean,
it could be a beautiful chrysanthemum. You could use a chrysanthemum instead of a protea, or a hydrangea head. You might have some in your garden. I won't be able to cut this because I haven't got my floristry scissors with me. So I'm just going to break this in about the spot that I need it in. Although these are so fresh, I probably could get through here. There we are. Yeah, these are fresh. Sometimes when they come into the UK, they're dried. But you must pull every leaf off that is going under the water, because this makes your water go bad. And they're beautiful leaves. It seems a shame, but it will stop the longevity of your flower. So I'm just going to pop that into a vase like that, and these will be key notes along the table. I'm actually just going to do something with this one now, because looking at it from above, I'm just going to pull these leaves off it, because they're not as pretty as they should be. Because you're looking at things from different angles, and remember, these are going to be seen quite close up on a table, so you don't really want anything that isn't absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to divide up these, and again I have to go with the same rules as before and try not to get much foliage into the base in the water. But from that one stem, I've actually got a little bunch there that I can then tuck into the vase. Yeah?
Lovely.
So just one. Now I don't like there to be just one, so I need to make, say, 3 of these along the table. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to the leucodendron. This one's a nice green leucodendron. I'm going to start with something a little bit high, and I'm going to go cut that off there. Just take that one down a little bit. I wish I had some floristry scissors, it'd be much easier. I think I'll put another one onto that one. Little group of 3 in there. You haven't got a lot of room in these bottles anyway, so that's just one of those. Now make another one. Right, celosia next. It's not a very long-lasting flower, this, and I'm pulling off all the foliage on these.
What's that one called again, Wendy? It's got quite a frilly looking...
Yeah, it's called celosia, They sometimes call it brains, but I don't think that's a very nice.
I can see why.
I don't think that's a very nice term for it. But the foliage on this dies very, very quickly as a cut flower, so it spoils the whole look. So do take your foliage off. Okay, so I've got them staggered down so that each head is seen. And then I'm just going to pop them in. Hopefully those will fit in. Yeah, just fit in. Okay, so that's a nice celosia. I'm going to do a couple. I'm going to do 2 more of these, but I'm going to put them quite low because I can see now that I've got too many things all on the same level. Not too many things, but everything's being on the same level. So I'm just going to pop these lower. This one's got a broken one. Can you see it's rotted?
Oh yeah.
I don't mind. I'm going to still use it because these are too precious not to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show that as if it, I'm going to put it into the vase and let it go over. It doesn't really matter. No one will think, oh, that's a dead one. They'll just think, oh, she's done something artistic. Yeah. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do quite a lot of these with eucalyptus. I can sort of get a lot out of one stem. Unfortunately, this messes up your hands because the eucalyptus oil comes out and it starts going black. It's a gorgeous smell, but it really does make a mess of your hands. And of course, this will dry. You can keep your eucalyptus, right, and take it out of the water when it's finished and hang it up, and you could use this as dried. And at Christmas, you could spray this silver, gold, because these aren't going in very far. I need to make sure they're in water. Yeah.
Do you remember what that one's called or not?
I've no idea. It's a South African sort of fynbos type, but like you say, this would be lovely. Like you could put rosemary from the garden, or gypsophilia from your local florist or whatever. Right. It's a very, very skilled profession, and unfortunately, people now can get flowers very cheaply at supermarkets. Right. And I say unfortunately, it does get flowers into people's homes, so that's one good thing. But the skill and the difference in the flowers in a flower shop to those in a supermarket are hugely different. A florist could do this for you, or you could do it yourself, but supporting the high street, supporting your local florist is so important for those times where you need funeral flowers, wedding flowers, big occasions. They are going to go off the high street if we don't support them. And like I say, the skill, I've been doing this 40 years and I never stop learning. I'm going to a European floristry school in July, where we have 3 of the top designers in the world, and I'm still wanting to learn and that sort of thing.
So with Direct to Florist, which is the company you work for, if somebody goes on their website and orders flowers, does that order go to a local florist?
Only local, a florist in the area where they want them delivered to. It just
so
goes.
I suppose that means that they stay fresh and
there's not many miles because they're the nearest florist, but you're also supporting local. They're real qualified high street or studio florists. This is another type of leucadendron, like the green one, but this is called Safari Sunset, and it's pretty obvious why it's called that, because it's so lovely and red. This you can get in the UK. You can get most of these in the UK. And it lasts for so long as well. It's really great laster. What I want to do now is, can you see how what I'm trying to do is I'm just going to make some tiny posy sort of look from. Yeah. I mean, if this was crescent, you could do the same thing, pull the heads of the crescent off. And it doesn't matter about the length of the stem in a way when they're so, because they could almost just sit on top of the water. It wouldn't do them any harm. Right. But you've got to be brave. That's the thing. Most people who aren't florists don't like cutting things down very short, but you'll never mess anything up. You can always find somewhere to pop it. Strip off the foliage, cut them down. There we are. So you can see the difference between this and this. It's almost like a totally different product, but it's the same flower, but because of putting it in that sort of puddingy sort of arrangement. And of course it's all eco-friendly. There's nothing, I mean, I love that Oasis do a brand new biodegradable foam, and I absolutely love it, because as a florist you can't not be using foam in certain things, but this one is totally eco because they're in water, can be used again, and that's it. So when I start to place the vases on the table, there are certain things that I always want to think about. So I get my statement flowers, such as the proteas in this case, and I place them along the table so that I know they're all being distributed in the right way. So I give thought to how I'm going to group them. So if, you know, where the colourings go together and that sort of thing. And then I do use the neutrals at a later stage, sort of the plain greens or the greys, to actually fill in to complement it. So what's really important on any table arrangement or tablescape is that you can see your fellow guests across the table. So do have a sit down at a chair and look across to make sure you can see the person in full view. When you're placing the flowers on the table, make sure that you go on different sides. So don't just place it all from one side of the table, or it will end up that one side is always nicer than the other. Another important thing is to make sure that you think about what type of dinner it is. If there's no food being served in dishes on the table, then you can spread out a little bit. If you're needing to make room to put serving dishes on the table, then you'll need to make gaps in between it. On this occasion, the food is being served individually, so it isn't a problem. So use candles and mirrors and crystals for extra sparkle. They always work, especially when it's dark. It's so much prettier. And be mindful of where you put the candles to avoid fire. It's pretty obvious, but when you're buying your flowers or when you're going around your garden or whatever to do this sort of thing, do be mindful of your decor in your room. Colours, styles, all that sort of thing, it will make a difference.